All right, and we are live. Hello, everybody.
Okay.
And Millie is in the house tonight. I am so stoked. I was so excited. I had to get my reindeer.
I love it. You look so cute and festive.
And, I have to sing, in the meadow we can build a snowman. I was just sitting there waiting for you. Hey, welcome, everybody. It is Thursday night, Thankful Thursday. And I'm so thankful all of you are here with me tonight. I am just feeling really festive. I really didn't put a Christmas tree up because I have a kitty cat that I adopted 2 years ago and rescued, I should say. And so you know how they are. They're very inquisitive. So this is like the extent of my tree because I tried to put a Christmas tree up, my little mini table one, and she was fascinated with the lights. I didn't have anything on there. So that was the end of that story and all that stuff. But I'm just, we got Bill H in the house already. Welcome, Bill H. My little chatters are climbing up the ladder to come into my Lindy's Treehouse. And we got Just Want to Fly. And Just Want to Fly saying, hi, Millie. Millie, can you see the chat? Can you see the chat? Oh, you're muted. Scooby-Doo. Hey, Scooby-Doo. She's doing sound check. Joe's in the house. What's up, Joe? I'm so excited to have everybody here. My pre-Christmas show. Yes, and we have Millie in the house and Just Want to Fly. I love you, girl. I'm glad you made it home safe. I was so worried about you. Can you you got sound? Because I can't hear you.
Are we working now?
Oh, now there you go.
Okay.
Yay.
These new earbuds are trying my patience.
Yeah. Oh, good. Now I'm much better at hearing you than reading lips, It's
I think most people would be.
Even with my hearing aids in and all that stuff. But hey, chatters, we're gonna get the show going. We're gonna get everybody settled in my the chatter room here, I call it.
Good.
I'm really super excited to have you here tonight, Millie. This is like a dream come true. And it is. I am just you look beautiful as ever. And I've been thinking about you.
Thank you.
And a little birdie said, why don't you go get with Millie and have her come on the show? And
yeah,
I was like, good idea. So little birdie flew into the DM and would you like to be on the show? And you said, yes. So yeah, I know I'm very dramatic with my hands and stuff,
Oh, I love it.
But I have so much fun when I do this show, and I always tell them I do the show for I always say I do the show for you, and
yeah.
I started doing the show in June, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing, seriously. I just took over because Robert, stopped his show in June.
Yeah.
And so everybody kept asking, well, who's going to do Thursdays? So I was talking to my daughter-in-law, and I was like, she's like, why don't you do it? And I go, me? You're like, yeah, right. Come on, you can do it. So it started out a little bit rocky, but I had Scuba jumped in and helped me one night. And because I was on YouTube and Zoom, which was a nightmare. And then I got with Jade because she's such a professional at all this. And God bless her. We sat on the phone one morning for like 2 hours, like FaceTime, whatever. And she walked me through everything. She gets all the credit for my thumbnail, setting it all up because for 2 weeks I was trying to do it myself and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I could not. Yes, she goes, not. Yes, she helped me. She helped. She got my thumbnail all designed and everything. So the little
extra. Oh, good. Well, it looks wonderful.
And then when I go into my stories, and I always add little things to it every week, or I feel like I'm like getting so good at this stuff. But no, I really enjoy doing this.
Yeah.
I'm having so much fun. And I added you to my guest list because I've got all my fancy wancy notes here. Every week I always pick a topic that has to do with life. And last week I did calling. So everybody was really cool in the chat, and we talked about the different meanings of calling. So this week we were going to talk about the different meanings of direction, like direction in life, direction in flying, that kind of stuff, you know. So, but
Yeah.
we're gonna talk to you and everything. So what I usually do is I start out with a little quotes here before we start the show, so people get in the chat, and then we're gonna get you going here. So I found
good.
This one says, change direction. Even a small changes can reap big benefits. Consider alternatives. Look with fresh eyes. Register patterns. Feel where you are blocked or stale. Try something new. Start with small things and experience the differences. Then you'll see the more important changes, and you'll make them naturally. And then it says, true life is lived when tiny changes occur. So the name was Change Direction. So I thought that was cool. So
yeah, that's a wonderful quote.
So I always, my daughter-in-law gave me all kinds of cool books. So I have my little notebook and everything. So I'm really starting to get very professional, you know, going through.
I love it.
A couple days before.
You're making your son proud.
Yeah, you always say you're doing good. Yeah, you got to see. I love that picture. Robert said that that you saw Aaron too. Him and Aaron at the Chory. I was so excited to hear that you're.
They're out celebrating the anniversaries, so I got to congratulate them on many years together.
I just love her. So I love Erin so much. She and my grandboys, I'm so blessed, you know, they're getting so big. And then I see them in the, you know, at church during the week, because I'm actually the moderator. So every, you know, when I watch this live stream, I'm always sitting in the back 40, and Brighton runs all the show stuff of it, you know, to make sure the sound man and all that. So I'm kind of in the back 40, and I let them know if the sound's not good or if somebody gets in the chat that shouldn't be there and stuff. So that's my thing.
Yeah. So, nice.
What's up? We'll fly in the house. So we'll go real quick here. So we're gonna go the different meanings, you guys, in the chat. We're gonna talk things called direction. So the first one is, we go kind of down the list. There's give direction, in the direction of, sense of direction, point in the direction, or change of direction. So a lot of this, when I was reading this, because I do all my research, I thought a lot of it could pertain. Don't mind me if my English, like, you know, because I make up words as I go.
I love it.
Pertain. But anyway, they're used to it. So give directions. So the one, give directions: appoint, authorize, call for, direct, require, and tell. So Millie, you're an instructor, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like in your zone, like give direction, you know. Yeah, you know what I mean? So like it says, appoint, authorize, call for, direct, require, and tell. So so what would you say, like, okay, so if you say appoint, when you direct for direction, is that like you're giving somebody a position, something, you're authorizing somebody to do something kind of thing? And then okay, and then the other one is in the direction of. So that'd be like, you could be up like flying or whatever. So in the direction of, like they're flying in a beeline, direct route, I say, but that's how I say it. sense of direction, straight line, acclimatization, adaptation, assimilation. And that's like when you guys do when they're learning to fly, right? They get on those computer things, simulation, and bearings and coordination and familiarization and fixed position. So I look at all those, and it's all stuff about direction. That always goes back to flying. I don't know why, but kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Point of direction is hint, indicate, point, promise, refer, or represent. And the change of direction would be about face, alteration, reversal, shift, transformation. So I didn't realize there were so many meanings of direction,
Yeah.
You can, so sometimes you can go in the wrong direction too, right? Things go to the wayside. So, and then they have the spiritual aspect of it too. And I was reading up on how many people in the chat actually have a compass, like a real compass. You guys use a compass? Do you have a compass when you fly, Millie?
Yeah. When I'm just ridge soaring, maybe not, but mountain flying, I always have a compass in case you get in clouds or get lost or anything. You got to know which way to go.
Is the compass like on your phone, or is it one that you just, like when you were kids, compass, you go on the,
Yeah, so I've got typically like on my Vario device is going to have a compass, and then I also have a ball compass. So if my Vario device isn't working in a cloud or something, I've got the ball compass, which will work no matter what and keep me on the right direction.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because it says here, north represents infinity, and this is like the spiritual part. North represents infinity and being something, I can't read my writing one time. And then east represents the future, and south represents the future, west represents the past. So it's kind of cool. But we have anyway, that's kind of like the subject going on and everything. But we're going to get this started because I'm trying to follow the chat. I have my two co-hosts that I had got second jobs, so evening jobs. So that was Michelle and Gypsy, Linda Kramer. So I was like, man. So I'm like literally winging it tonight. You know what I mean? Okay, so I had to put these
right.
Kind of do my thing.
I like it.
But I did have confidence in myself. I could do it, because when I started out the show, it was just me, and I don't even know how I did it, but and then Gypsy, she was a guest, and then I made her my co-host like the following week, and so it all worked out. But I'm going through the chatter because we have some questions here, and welcome chatters and viewers and watchers and all that stuff on my pre-Christmas show. I am so blessed and so happy to have you all here tonight. And it's not about me, it's about Millie tonight. So we're all going to welcome Millie, my paragliding in the house tonight. I'm super excited. So I don't know, can you see the chat on your end or no?
Yeah, if I click over, I can see it if I pop over to it.
Okay, so we'll like go through the chat together in case I missed something. Now Scuba says he has a compass somewhere in the basement. So that's cool.
Oh, good. That's a good place for it to be,
Yeah. And then Kramer, hi Gypsy. We were just talking about you. I miss you very much, girl. I miss you very much. And Kramer says, howdy y'all. I got 2 semis in front of me dropping material. This girl, I swear she's got 9 lives. And then I'll drop my black top and go back for another load. I'll listen as long as I can. Miss you guys. You go, girl. Wow. I worry about her all the time. She goes, I'm fine. Yeah, she is. She's a warrior. So we're going to go without taking I'm going to scroll here. Okay. We got a bunch of chatters. Somebody had a question here. Let's see. Okay. So Scuba had a question. In other news, how long has Millie been teaching foot and trike? So Millie, why don't we start when you started flying and kind of tell your story. And I'll just sit back and I will just listen. And everybody in the chat, please, yes, do you have any questions? Chat, and I'll try to get to them as quick as I can. I will pay attention, which doesn't happen.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, let's see. I started flying about 15 years ago out in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I took lessons at Cloud9 paragliding, which I eventually ended up teaching at. And I started teaching about 9 years ago. I think in the spring it'll be 10 years for me. And I've taught in Utah for most of that time. And then has it been 3 years-ish? Maybe over 3 years I've been teaching here at Torrey Pines Glider Port in San Diego, which has been a really cool experience out here.
Oh my gosh,
So,
yes.
yeah.
It looks so beautiful there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, one of my students asked me today, do you ever have a bad day here? And I was like, well, I mean, we get non-flyable days, so those are kind of bad, but other than that, it's pretty much beautiful here all the time, as you know, when you come to visit. So.
Yes, yeah. I don't get there enough. I want to go back there. It's been years, you know. Definitely.
Yeah.
I used to have Robert take me to every time I come visit, I tell him to take me to what is that? New comment. I don't know what happened there. I would want to go to Mission Beach. So
I love it down there.
Yeah. Well, my thing was go to Mission Beach, and he knew he had to take me there. And every year I'd go, and all I cared about was getting a hoodie, sweatshirt, and a magnet, and I was a happy camper. So
I love it. Yeah, they got some cool hoodies down there.
Yeah.
Lots of fun ones.
Okay. So, anyways, you can go on. See, I get off track. I'm just. What is it? Okay, I'm just looking here. Okay. All right. Go ahead. I'm just reading.
So I guess think about it from there. So like been teaching here for quite a few years, and then in the mix of all that, I still like to have fun myself. So I've been diving into acrobatic training the past year and a half, 2 years, and then of course love to go XC flying. So I'll be going to Mexico come first of the year to go do some cross country flying and go send it there. So that'll be a good time.
Oh my goodness! So you're going to you just do paragliding then?
Yeah, I haven't gotten into paramotoring yet. My partner, husband Billy, he actually paramotors. But I've been looking at like the top 80 because I have a bad back, so I kind of have to worry about weight on my back a little bit.
Yeah.
But man, those top 80s are looking okay. And then we had a student come through recently that was on even lighter weight motor setup that I'm kind of interested in. But you know, being at sea level.
Okay.
Being at sea level, I won't need as much muscle as the high altitude stuff. So I'm looking at it. It's just the finances to buy a motor is like,
yeah.
So we'll get there eventually. It's definitely on my list at some point.
You do baby steps. Yes.
Yeah, but man, a bunch of those guys went to Egypt this year, and I got to say that really just. I just want to go fly around the pyramids and stuff. So I'm like, okay, that's got to happen at some point in my life.
You got to put it on your bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so that looked pretty incredible.
That looked really cool. And then the what is the Stol? The Stol, STO, STOL. I was kind of following them too, the Stol, and how that's pretty cool. How would you want to do that someday?
Maybe. I'm always open for things, but it's just there's so many things to do. It's like where do you line up the list and start plugging through it, you know?
Yeah, because it showed like it was. I thought it was just like one thing they were doing, but actually it was kind of like an obstacle course that they had to do. And he had the map out.
Yeah.
Very professional. I thought it was really cool. And the crazy thing is, I knew everybody on there. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, watching him and stuff. I'm like, oh, he's flying too, and this and that, and this and that, and just want to fly. I had a question: is Millie still making and selling hats?
Yeah, I do. I just haven't dove into it deep. I kind of make them, and then I just like giving them away. I probably should make some to sell at some point, but so hopefully after the first of the year, I'll kind of get my Etsy site back up and get some hats and beanies and some things out there again. So,
Oh, that'd
but
be cool. Yeah, I'll put
yeah,
it.
but the past year was a little time consuming on a lot of things. So kind of my crafting took a little backseat, but I'm getting back to it. So
Sure. Jade said, I still want one, please.
yeah, I still owe you one, so I got to get your address and send you some. I have some beanies done, so I got to send you girls some stuff.
Oh, I'm excited. That is cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Scuba said stole a short takeoff or landing. So yes. Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool to watch that. Hey, chatters, if you got any questions, put them in the chat. I like this chat. See, now when I had Gypsy, she kind of helped me follow the chat, you know.
Well, yeah, make it a little easier.
And it says it'll pop up if there's a new comment. So I just click the little, because if I see something new that pops up on my screen, then I get all like, should, you know, if I hit it, will be the point of no return kind of thing, you know. Or,
yeah.
Be okay. So I hit that comment one, and then it just comments came up, like who, you know, the old comments, whatever. So okay, so let's see. So you started. So what made you like? Who was your? You don't have to give any names or whatever. But how did you get interested in flying? That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, so I actually came from kiteboarding. I used to do foil kiting, or I guess snowboarding with just regular foil snow kites. Okay. And actually, quite a few people who snow kite also paraglide. And so I was at a snow kiting event, and a couple of paragliders came, and I got to watch them like go off the top of the hill and fly. And I was like, I want to do that. How do I do that? And it's interesting because who I saw flying is actually who I'm with now. And I didn't know him at the time, but I remember seeing his glider and going, that looks cool. And then that night I was eating dinner with everyone at the kiting event, and I got to meet Steve Mayer and Mike Steen and Kevin Hinsey, who are all paragliding instructors that I know. And they're like, oh, Millie, you should come learn to paraglide. And I'm like, maybe. But it took a couple of years to kind of get to that position. And then my buddy, Dave Hanning, I used to work with him at backcountry.com. And he calls me and goes, hey, Millie, if you can make it to the point of the mountain in 20 minutes, I can take you flying. I had a cancellation. I was like, oh, I'm on my way. And so I got in my car, drove to the point, and went on my first tandem flight with him. And pretty much I wanted to do it from there. But again, it took me a couple of years to get the finances together. And then I eventually went and learned with Mike Steen and Steve Mayer and Kevin Hinsey. And Kevin Hinsey and Steve Mayer were my main instructors. So the guys who kind of sparked it were the ones who taught me. So it was a pretty cool roundabout picture with all those guys. So pretty fun.
That is cool. Yeah, I remember Steve Mayer. When I was co-hosting PPG Grandpa's show, I got Steve Mayer in here, and then that's when I would get a hold of Robert and say, you need to get this guy on your show. And so he's been on his show before. Yeah, it was awesome. A couple times or whatever, you know. But we would always like battle it out for guests. You know, a lot of times I think about getting a guest on the show, and then I look at his show and I'm like, dang, he beat me to it. You know, we had more fun with it. And I'm like, no, you can't have him yet. He's on my going to be on the show next week. You can have him next month or whatever. But anyway, we have really fun.
Yeah, perfect.
That is now. See, I've done 3. You know that you see all of it on Facebook, but I've done the 3 trike tandems, but not. I've never done the paraglider tandem. I don't know about that one.
Let's get you out here during the summer season. You come out and visit Michael, and we'll go tandem together at the glider port.
Oh my gosh.
We'll get a good day where we'll just be able to float off and land right back up top together.
Wow. Yeah, I like like I weigh a whole 107, 107 pounds. So it's like, I'm sure that will.
Perfect. We'll be able to float in any. We'll be able to float in any conditions together. It's perfect weight for me.
Be like taking a little mosquito up there, Come on, let's go. We're gonna fly.
That'll be perfect. We'll have Michael in the sky with us. He can fly with us too, so it'll be a fun time.
Oh
So
my
you
God.
come out, let's do it.
I don't, and you gotta. What do you hang on to? And it just seemed like, because I guess I haven't seen a tandem seat. I'm used to like the trike, sit down, in that seat, and they get you all, buckled in, whatever, and I feel really safe in it. And well, the only thing I'm worried about is I wouldn't make a very good foot launch. I would not be able to run that fast.
That's all right, because we fly in wind, so you won't have to do much running. We'll just bring it up, couple steps, then we leave the hill.
Yeah, you're right at the cliff. The cliff is right there. It's not like when Robert, when he's at what is it? Where does he fly? The other place he flies.
I think he flies Blossom a lot, right? Yeah.
I did. I went a few years back or whatever when I went to visit him. He took me up there in his Jeep. Oh boy, yeah, it was just terrifying, and they thought the boys were laughing at me and stuff. I was like, we're gonna die! Oh my God! But when we finally got up to the top, it was beautiful. But then, of course, the wind stopped or whatever, and
yeah.
But the whole time we're sitting at home, Robert's like, yeah, we should go fly, huh? By the time we got there, it was going to happen. So anyway.
Well, just know if you're in town, you can always come check it out, show you what it's about. And then if you feel comfortable, we can go fly together. So
I really
would just know it's open. It's open for you anytime.
Yeah. Yeah. Because when I go on the trike, because I have vertigo, but surprisingly, it does. Once I'm up in the air, as long as I'm not, if I was like totally to keep looking up in the sky, yeah, there would be issues. But if I'm just looking down or looking like this, you know what I'm saying? You kind of keep it, whatever, I'm good. So I don't know. I'm curious about the sitting in the paraglider in this. And
if we got out there and you weren't enjoying it or the vertigo, we just turn around, come land. Easy peasy. So.
Okay. It'd be pretty though, flying over by the water.
It's beautiful flying here and take you down by the mansions and we'll see some dolphins and so.
Yes. That's so cool. So tell me, okay, so you just kind of fell in love with it and you were like, no turning back now. I'm just gonna. When did you become an instructor? I might have missed.
Let's see. I started instructing about 9, I guess, coming up on 10 years here this spring.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I enjoy it. My mom's a school teacher. My grandma's a school teacher. So I just kind of was raised around being a teacher.
Yeah.
And I've been a snowboard coach and I've done different teaching things throughout my life. So it just kind of flowed into the avenue of me and who I am. And I love teaching. Yeah. So it just became part of what I love doing. And I like doing it. And I kind of was raised to be a teacher. So it's just kind of in my body to teach. So,
so you probably stay pretty busy up there then. You got a lot of people there on the weekends. Like, do you just do the classes on the weekends or do you do classes every day or how do that?
we have the school this time of the year. We're open 6 days a week. So we have Wednesdays closed. They're kind of our slowest day. So it gives us a day off. But I work half the shifts and then the other instructor works the other half the shifts. And then I do repairs other days and jump in and help with tandems or other little things with the glider port as they need me and stuff. So but it's fun here. Lots to do.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So do you have many people that bring trikes there or no? Is it all more paragliding?
It's mainly foot launch. There's no paramotoring allowed here. The city doesn't allow us to launch the motors from here, but the motor pilots can fly in from I think they launch from Fiesta Island or Oceanside or some areas. And then they just navigate the airspace and then they'll come fly by us and then they'll continue on and go back to where they came from and stuff. So,
very
but
cool.
we do have a trike here for Project Airtime sent us a trike for people who have, they're paralyzed in wheelchairs or don't have good foot movement. We can launch them in a seated position with wheels and stuff. So some of the guys here do the wheelchair tandems.
Very nice. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I've heard Project Airtime. I've always wanted to get one of those guys on, as a guest on the show, when I was co-hosting.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool what they do. And that is cool. They donated a trike for you guys to, so you have somebody then so you are tandem certified, but only in foot launch, or once you get tandem certified, or is that two separate things, foot launch and trike?
Yeah, it's the tandem pilot still launches by feet, so the trike just adds a little extra. You just have to, typically we have one or two people helping hold the trike and keeping it straight. So you just have to be confident in like your piloting skills to add that little extra situation on the front, But overall, it shouldn't be too hard. I haven't flown with the trike yet. It's definitely a goal down the road to be able to fly people in the trike some point. But just tandems aren't my main focus. I still do them here and there, but mainly I teach and stuff. They got the full-time tandem guys that do that all the time. And then if they get busy, they'll call me in if they need me, or maybe there's a female who needs a female tandem pilot, for religious purposes and things like that. I'll jump in and help out. But mainly I fly my students tandem. We take them out and say, let's clean some stuff up. Let's go fly the ridge. Let's do some maneuvers, get you feeling comfortable on some top landings, and then let's go do it solo.
Yeah. Yeah. Scuba says trike is fun. Big bonus, no weight on your back.
Right. So I've definitely looked at doing trike stuff for motoring at some point just because of my bad back. And my husband Billy's got a motor clip-in thing for his stuff. So it'll be interesting to watch him kind of play with that and kind of see how the trikes work with the motors. So know if that's something I can add in down the road for me.
Yeah. Scuba says Millie is so light. She needs like a top 30 when they
that would be nice. I don't need all that extra weight on my back. So that'd be nice.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. I guess, I guess it makes sense to just, do the foot launching right now is having a motor on your back, especially trying to get your, you've done so much to get your strength back, like to put a motor on your back, probably that wouldn't be good. I don't think that.
Yeah, I think I need to build some more leg muscles first.
Yeah.
Do some squats.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the squats. Yes. Yeah, I usually, with my age and all that, it's like in the summers, I walk a lot, and you see on Facebook, whatever. I can walk down to the bayfront. It's like 20 minutes from my house, and I just love it. And I'll do like 5 miles, 6 miles,
Oh, that's so good.
And I just, for being almost 70, I just feel like I'm 70 years old. I'm doing pretty dang good. And the walking, I'm just so blessed. And the walking it clears your head, I go to the bay.
It does.
I just, I take pictures of things that people would normally take pictures of, things that jump out at me. And I love it. And then on the days, some days, if I don't feel like walking to the bay, I walk to the college. And the college is, right by my house. So I can get my miles in, right? So it's like 2 miles or whatever. I walk to the college. So I already got, by the time I get there, I've got 2 miles in. And then I push myself when I go around the indoor track, and I put my little thing on my phone, and I watch and I see how many miles. And I used to think 3 miles was a lot, right? When I started walking last year, a year ago at this time. And now I'm up to 6, almost 7.
Oh, good.
Because if I'm not sweating, then I'm not walking, I didn't get my walk in. But once I start sweating.
Yeah, not sleeping good then.
Yeah, I do. And then, right about 3 miles, 3-4 miles, I will start sweating. And then I know, okay, it's, the cardio kind of thing is working. And I'm just
Mm-hmm.
with walking. I tried they have a gym there too, and you can get a membership like for 6 months, 7 months, whatever. And I tried doing all that, but my best bet, unless you do that like every day, work on those machines and stuff. So I just decided I'm just going to stay with walking. And you probably, with foot launching and stuff, even with paragliding in general, right? You got to be in shape.
Yeah, I mean, you can be a pretty lazy pilot, honestly. You don't need a lot of muscle to fly, but stamina, if you want to fly
And
long
yes.
term and, fly bigger air, then you do need stamina. Just boating around the glider port here, you can be pretty chill. But man, you sink out to the beach, the hike up's going to work you out. So, it just depends on if you can drive up to the site or if you have to hike up to it, so
Oh, yeah.
sometimes we have to work out and other times it's easy and you're like, oh, I didn't really work out at all today, but I flew.
Yeah.
So sometimes flying's a workout and other times it's pretty chill.
I I remember watching some of the videos and having seen Robert take the hike to Blossom. Sometimes not by choice, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I'd be so scared for him, like a snake was going to jump out at him or something. Um,
Yeah, we do have snakes around here, but luckily most of them make noise, rattle.
oh, oh gosh. Yeah, I hope you don't see too many in the grass over there because you have a lot of grass. So hi Joe? Joe Adelsa sure helps for foot launching too. So because Joe tries this, when I go walking and stuff, we like in the summer we challenge each other on the walks who can walk the farthest, so it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
pick up.
walking's awesome. I love walking.
I always tell them, get off your butt and get up in the air. But hi Lacey, good to see you. Deweese is in the house. My lovely
Oh,
Deweese.
hi, Deweese.
I am like so happy to see everybody in the chat tonight. Bill H
Yeah.
is the first one in the chat. And I like so appreciate my chatters and my listeners every week because they show up faithfully in Lindy's Treehouse. And we really have a good time. We had a Halloween show a while back, and so I pretended we were all just use your imagination. We were all sitting in the treehouse, and we were talking spooky stories and stuff. Just fun stuff.
Yeah,
like
fun. Yeah.
But so let's see what else. I'm so excited to have you here, though. I'm just picturing, Torrey Pines and how. So when did everybody start? Did you have to get permission with FAA, whatever they call it? Probably said it wrong. For people to fly at Torrey, was it kind of like, how can I say it? Like somebody picked out that spot years ago, and then you all just decided that's where you're going to fly at, or how?
Yeah, Torrey's actually one of the oldest flight sites in America.
Oh,
They've
it
been flying here since like the early 1900s. It's pretty
is?
wild.
Yeah,
There's some
tell
really
me.
cool books. Someone wrote a book about the glider port's history. It's really cool. But they started flying planes off here. Like Lindbergh actually flew some planes off of here like way back in the day. They did some
Wow.
World War II testing of gliders out here. And then, of course, when hang gliding opened up, this was like a hang gliding mecca for a lot of years. And then for a lot of years, they had sailplanes here. And they had this big tow rig set up in the back parking lot that would tow up the sailplanes and chuck them into the sky. But the college built some new buildings, and it took away the runway landing approach for the sailplanes. So that kind of cut sailplanes out of here.
Oh, wow.
But at that time, paragliders were starting to add in. And if you've been flying here, like my instructor, Steve Mayer, a lot of years ago, actually used to fly here with sailplanes. And he was like, it was crazy, like this huge sailplane in the sky with you.
It is great.
But the sailplanes still come in. They launch off, I believe, from like Oceanside. They have little motors on them. And then when they get to the glider port, they kick the motor off, and then they just go into sailing mode. So I've flown with a couple here before, but typically on windier days. So
Oh,
But yeah,
wow.
it's been here a long time. So it was, before Yushba, before a lot of stuff. It's been a really big site in the world of paragliding and aviation here.
Yeah. Well, thank God they didn't build any houses right there. You know what I mean? You got, because okay, so besides Blossom, where's other places to fly there? Let's see. I know Robert had a couple places that he used to go to besides Tori and Blossom. Was it Little Black? Called Little Black?
Yeah. There's Little Black, and then there's Big Black, which is the bigger mountain above it and stuff. If you have more skill set, you can kind of fly Big Black.
Okay.
But yeah, Little Black and Blossom are kind of the two main mountain sites for Southern California. And then we've got quite a bit more like Palomar. Right now, the LZ's closed. They're doing some construction on it. So everyone's been like, oh, we're waiting for Palomar to open again. Because that one's a drive-up site. So you don't have to hike up to it, which is nice.
Oh my
But
goodness.
Little Black's a hike-up site. And Blossom, you got it like, Robert's taking you up in the Jeep, so you got to have a pretty good vehicle to get up Blossom.
Yes, that was quite.
Yeah, but
you were straight.
one of my favorite SoCal sites is you drive about an hour and a half inland to Saboba, and that's one of my favorite sites in SoCal is Saboba. It's like a big ridge and thermals, and it's just such a cool spot to fly.
Yeah, well, with Robert, where he lives, he can fly right off his property now. So I don't know where he's at just because, but you know where he's at and where he lives and stuff. So hopefully, I've been praying about that I can get out there and see my boys because I haven't seen them in years. And and watch Robert fly off the property and stuff and everything.
Yeah, that'll be really cool to see.
But I have to show everybody real quick. My daughter-in-law and I. This one is this the this is a new one. We went to Goodwill to find our ugly sweaters for Christmas.
Oh yeah,
Tradition now. So this is if you can see it, my hair.
Oh yeah, look at that reindeer. It's got like little teeth. That's cute.
On the back. Can you see the back? It's got the butt.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
So, I'm like, for $4? Yeah. Yes. So I had to show everybody my ugly Christmas. And it's actually, I'm going to wear it on Christmas, and it's real light. It's real soft.
Oh, good.
Because I didn't really try it on. Hi, Charlie Wash. What's going on, dude? Got all my buddies are in here. I just love it.
Oh, fun.
Thanks for stopping by, Charlie. Yes, I'm wearing antlers. Yes. He's awesome. I've known Charlie since the early flying days. I met him from Robert's show or whatever, so.
Oh, fun.
Cool. It just seems like, even when I did the co-host the show, every time, I find all the guests for Sean for his show and everything. And everybody was always, I bring people on, and I love doing it because it was another new friend, right? New parafriend.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd get people on there that maybe didn't know, didn't really have a whole lot of people that, or did, like in the para world or whatever, or didn't know where to fly or where to meet people. So just bring them on the show. I've had them open up a whole new world for them, So it's kind of this all, how it's all just kind of revolved, right? Hi, Cowboy John Wayne. Welcome. What's up? You doing okay? You feeling good? Good to see you. So yeah, it's like, I follow everybody's show, and I really enjoy it. I enjoy it, and I always look at it. It's not a competition, I do this for fun, and I love to see people be successful. So, that's why I do it. It helps me, it helps you guys and everything. And I have, and then, so let's see what else. So tell me some more about you. about how you, let's see. Okay, so you told me the history of it and of Torrey Pines. And I guess a few years ago, um, from all the rain, wasn't it from all the rain that it was almost going into the ocean? The whole side.
Yeah, it was crazy. So we're at the king tides right now where we have really high tides and really big low tides. And last year we had massive king tides where like the ocean was coming in and smashing the cliff and stuff. And it was just raining and just saturating the whole cliff face, and it's just sand, so it got wet enough that some of the peaks started actually falling off and like breaking off. And so the whole shape of the cliff, there's chunks that huge pieces just fell off and fell down to the beach, and it kind of opened up a little more flying area.
Oh,
And so, if it ends up finishing chunking off, then the back ridge will open up and not have a big rotor chunk that kind of whacks people every so often. But
yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. Like other little parts of the cliff along the way kind of fell off and kind of changed some shapes a little bit. But this year we haven't gotten the range yet, so hopefully our cliff stays together a little better this year. But they said they
God.
haven't had the cliff fall apart like that for like 20 years or something. Was the last time they had a big chunks off the cliff. So yeah.
Yeah, I saw that on the news. Charlie Wash said Tori is a dream of him to fly. Charlie, how long? Because Charlie's from New York State, so he flies. What beach do you fly at, Charlie? Put it in the chat. So Charlie has some. Have you been flying for a couple years now? I don't know. Has it been 3 years or something, Charlie, that you've been flying? Because I know he started paragliding, and
Cool.
I'd see, he put videos on Facebook and stuff. So,
Oh, fun.
yeah, and so he's doing the last time he was flying, he was doing really good. So, well, now it's too cold, They kind of get
Except here, I flew like in a t-shirt and leggings today, and I could have been in shorts.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot today. We did laps to the beach with the students, but yeah, it was a hot day today.
And they're like, oh, it's a warm, and now I get it now, a warming trend, 40 degrees. Oh, it's warming up.
Yeah.
Everything's going to start melting, Gosh, a couple weeks ago, we got so much snow, but I don't worry about it because I don't have to drive in it, It's all good.
That's nice.
And then, my daughter-in-law and my son, Ryan lives only like 15 minutes from me. So if I need anything, whatever, he's always, and I go there on Sundays, hang out with them. And I'm just very blessed. My daughter-in-law is beautiful and we're like best friends. I mean, that's
good.
Often,
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan's got I'm very blessed. Both my boys, Ryan just got married. What was it? Oh, October, the end of October. So, yeah, so now I have 2 daughter-in-laws, and I just love it. It's so
good.
very, very cool. So, do you have let's see, John Wayne said doing good. Got the new master on the trike and the new Adam on the foot launch. Been breaking them in. See, I learn all. You got to learn the lingo here. I always hear monster. I want to say monster. The monster and the Adam. So they call it Adam 80. See, I know that. Yes. So
yeah, look at you. You know some deets.
Sometimes I'll have a conversation with Robert, and he's like, "That's pretty good, Mom." Like my very first thing when I used to start watching the shows, I'd make notes because I didn't want to look stupid. Like, what are they talking about? So my very first one that I learned was LZ. And I I know what LZ means, And now there's so much out there that, I'm learning what, the trims are and, all the
getting all the lingo down.
Yeah, the trims and what else? The what do they call those clip things? They always talk about they clip things onto the trims or whatever. Help me out here, Scuba. what are those?
Trying to think.
They kind of look like key rings, but they're not key ring, and they clip them on. They clip them on to their. Well, that's because I guess because of the trikes or the
Yeah.
rear motors. But so what's the as in wings and stuff? What's the difference like with to use a wing? Can you use the same wing on a trike and a foot launch, the paragliding? Can you?
Yeah.
Are there
No,
just
they do make gliders that you can get motorizers on. So like the company that I'm a team for, BGD, Bruce Goldsmith, like there's a couple gliders like you can just get risers put on that are for motoring, and it has the trims so you can control some speed. But then you can foot launch it or motor it. And it's rated to have the extra weight that the motor has. Now, if it's not rated for motor flying, then it might not be able to handle the extra load of the weight for it. And you might have to size up to get to the correct weight ranges for it. But yeah, there's quite a few gliders you can do for both. But some people really like the reflex wings for paramotoring because they're a little more pitch stable, collapse stable, and get a little different speed and stuff. So you can kind of go either way, but it's a little harder to take the motor reflex wings and free fly them. They fly a little differently than the paragliders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering. Hi, Walter. Walter from Australia is in the house. That means there's already a tomorrow when Walter's in the house. We already know there's.
Oh, yeah. It's already tomorrow there. Weird.
Yeah. And it's summer over there. So,
yeah.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? That's so crazy. John Wayne says at Bill H, I threw in a new coil with that carb and rebuild kit. Mailed it today. All right. See, John Wayne, he's going to be up in the air before you know it, because he had surgery and all that stuff. So keeping that ticker healthy, as the saying goes, and so you're doing good. It sounds like you're doing really good, John. Really good. I'm proud of you, bud, because he was having a rough go there for a while. So now at least he can focus on getting back up in the air or whatever. And
yeah.
So what?
Good. Healing up.
You say you got to fly today? You said you flew today, or you just did classes?
Yeah, I had class today. I had 4 students, and they all took their flights down to the beach. And so after I chucked them all off, then I launched after them and came down, threw some high fives in the LZ on my landing, and had some fun with them and hiked up with them. So, but right now we've been in high pressure, so there's been no soaring. So if you want to fly, you just got to be willing to hike. And I love to fly, so I had to hike.
Oh gosh.
So a little sweaty, a little kind of greasy, but we're making it.
Yeah, it's just so crazy because of the temperature difference. That it's warm there or whatever.
Yep. Yeah, it was hot.
Like there's, because you always hear good and bad things about beach flying. Like some they let you fly the beach, some other places not so much. We were hearing stuff for a while there, just in California in general, that when Robert would have a show and everything, they were taking away a lot of the LZs, and that just seems to be not just in California, but a lot of places seems to be. I don't know. So all it takes is one person, right, to mess it up for everybody, or 1 or 2 people, right? And then
yeah, it's really easy to get a flight site taken away. It's really hard to get it back, so we try not to get them taken away if we can, so yeah.
So do you use the let me think of the name of it now, when you go up in the air and you put your feet inside I call it a cocoon, but what's it called?
Yeah, some people call them cocoon harnesses, but they're also called pod harnesses.
Pod, yes, yeah, because Robert has one. So do you use
Yeah,
one?
but some people call them cocoons. Yeah, I have one.
Okay, so what is it? What is it for? Just for warmth, or is it for for safety, or what? Because I see some people use them, some people don't.
Yeah, so I went 14 years in the sport without a pod harness, so you don't have to have one. to achieve things. But when you move up to certain glider ratings, we have induced drag and different things that come into play with us. And so, like my glider, I have either a high B glider, or I've just now moved up to the BGD Lynx 2, which is a C glider. And so it flies at a faster speed than my other gliders do. And so when we start flying at faster speeds, we have wind force on our bodies. And so by getting in those cocoon harnesses that are really streamlined and thin, it makes us more aerodynamic, and then we have less drag on our bodies. Well, my glider's already flying faster, so I need to make sure my body's matching my glider. And so it makes me streamlined to match my glider's streamlinedness. So then we kind of fly together. It does make you warmer. So, you know, when I'm on launch and I didn't have a pod harness, I'd have to be in like, I looked like I was going to go snowboarding, and I'm like sweating. It's like 70 degrees on launch. I'm just roasting and sweating because eventually I'm going to get up to altitude and be cold. But so the pod harness is nice. I just have to put a jacket on, and then I have like leggings on or shorts, and then my body slides into that little cocoon, and I stay warm inside there.
Oh yeah.
So
you wouldn't put your obviously you wouldn't put your feet in there till you're up in the air, because how would you run? How would you run?
Exactly. Yeah. So they're not as easy to just ground handle and have fun with. So I still have my other harnesses that are a little better for that situation when I want to have open legs, or my acrobatic harnesses. We don't use the pod harnesses for acrobatics. So so they have their time and place, you know, but it's also really nice because it has like a 3 speed bar system. So when I push on my first speed bar, it's just best glide, and then I can go 2 and 3, and it's way less fatiguing on the legs on speed bar. So cross country flying, the pod harnesses are great, but if you're not flying XC flying, then you know they're not always necessary for you.
So it keeps your feet and your legs comfortable. Did you ever? I always wonder, like even when people that aren't using it, don't your legs get tired, or you know, your feet, like I don't know, maybe it's a thing or whatever, like your feet, you know, your legs fall asleep, your foot falls asleep or anything like that, you know, when you're up in the air?
They definitely can. Like long flights in the sky, like I kick my feet, like we came up with the phrase for one of the students years ago is ruby slippers. So like when you've been flying for a while and you got to kind of like wake the legs up, do ruby slippers, kick the heels, wake them up, and then you know they'll be ready to land, you know. So but I find with the pod harness, I get a little bit, my knees get a little tired in that straight position. So I tend to have to drop my legs and kind of wake my legs up in the pod harness a little bit more than just the regular harnesses. But if a harness is fitting good, you shouldn't get any leg fatigue. But if you have it fitted wrong and it's hitting your hamstring weird, or it's too long on your leg, it's going to make your legs fall asleep. So a good fitted harness will keep you comfy.
Interesting. So you have to get fitted for those pods then, right? You have to get, and I'm sure do they all come in all different colors to the pods?
Yeah, some of them come in different colors. The one I have is all black, so I made it colorful. I put on some like fun colors and stuff, of course, you know.
Black or whatever. But I remember watching him, you know, you see all his videos and stuff, and as soon as it gets up in the air, then you got to be really coordinated too. So you're up in the air, and he's got all his phones, everything. I just blows my mind. All his
little flight deck and
right in front of him. And I'd be like, even when I went on my up in the tandem, I did not bring a phone with me because I just know I'd probably drop it. And most of the time, I'm just hanging on to the sidebars when I fly. You know, you go up in the air, and I just kind of put a grip on it as you're, you know. Well, that's right. When you first start going up, when you're going across the field, and it's like you have to keep your arms. I remember Jade telling me, you know, got to keep your arms in like this, you know, like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get up in the air, because I'm like, I remember the first time I went up, and she says, you know, put it like this, and I was like, well, what do I hang on to? And she's like, once you get up in the air,
you just have to exist.
Yeah, I'm like, how do I hang on? You know, I'm just like, But then after the second time, I'm like, I had it down. It's like doing the Macarena in there, you know. We got it, Jade.
Yeah.
Walk over there.
Yeah, all that fear you had was replaced with knowledge, and you know more now, so you're doing better.
Yeah, and the second time I went up, it was even better. And then when I went at the torch, I went Torchport fly-in. It's an hour from my house, so I was able to go back there again this year. And then I went up with Keith and Kat. So Kat took me up, and
Fun.
and so I have, you'll see I got the video on my Facebook or whatever, and yeah. But the hardest part for me was sitting around all day because I wanted to get up in there. I was so excited,
All those nervous butterflies and
yeah. And then once, and I was just more excited than anything, But
those excited butterflies
going across the field, at first is like, I can't, I have to tell people if you're going to do it, I can't explain it because everybody has a different, feeling or whatever when they get up in the air. All I know is when I came down the first time, I was shaking, I was crying. It was so life-changing. God bless you, Jade.
Incredible.
It totally changed my life. It did. And I tell my story 100 times, but seriously, it did, because I was just in the middle of transition, coming to Michigan and everything. And I hadn't been here that long, the whole thing. And I knew if I didn't do it, Millie, that I'd be mad at myself, And so I was laying in bed all night saying, I think I'm going to go up, why not? Because I know Eric and Jay kept asking me all year, hey, come on to church. We'll take you up. And I'm like, I don't know. But when first time I went, and I was kind of checking everything out. And then it was like, before I knew it, I was sitting in that seat. And up in the air I went. And I think they thought that I was just going to want to stay up there 10 minutes, and come down. And Jade did the video, and she's like, no, Linda's not ready to come down yet. But then the second year, I got braver, and I'm like, let's do a flyby. Let's do a touch and go,
Oh, so, yeah.
I'd be, going across. So, yeah. So it was like the whole experience. They say three's a charm, and my family's like, you don't need to go up again. Something could happen, whatever. And I was talking to Robert about it, and he's like, Mom, you only live once, Go take another.
Go fly.
Just do it, So how many 7-year-olds go up, still do that stuff. So
yeah, it's great. And you got good, skilled friends to take you. So it's not like you got these idiots. You got skilled, good people to go with. So let's do it.
Like, literally flybys, right? Like, I'll take you up. Okay, no. We got Kramer. Kramer is in the house, and she said that, hi, Kramer, I miss you. Normally, I hate waiting in line, but tonight it's great because it gives me a chance to jump out of the truck and join the chat. I'm so glad you're doing the show tonight to keep me company. Thanks. I love you.
Oh, good.
So much. Yes. The lady with 9 lives, I call her. Goodness. Wow. Yeah. So she's driving a truck at night. And then she runs the park, her RV park, during the day. So she's
hustling, getting it done.
And that's the thing. That's why I'm so driven to people like you and, just the parapeeps, my parapeeps, because they have a passion for life and to be successful. And and I love that. And I love getting on here and inspiring. You guys inspire me, and I love inspiring other people too, The sport is just, you can't, you can't explain it to anybody what it feels like when you're up in the air. And another reason I did is because people kept talking, I would co-host these shows, and then everybody always kept talking about how, what it was like to be up in the air. And I started thinking, well, it only makes sense to do it.
Gotta do it.
Once I did it, I'm like, now I understand. They're like, oh, she's going to go back up again, and all that. So, Walter, Walter said, Millie, are you single? Asking for a friend. Walter,
No, not single. Sorry.
Walter, you calm down. You calm down. Tony and Angela, where are you? Tony and Angela are probably watching football. I bet they're listening. But I'm going to say, Mr. Vegas, are you home from work? You guys watching football tonight? Because I don't see you in the chat, but I know where you're at. So, yes. Kramer said on Mondays and Tuesdays she welds too. And Wednesday, I miss Just Wanna Fly. I know, me too. I miss her show too. JD, I'm gonna get when things kind of calm down for JD. JD, I want to have you on my show sometime to be my guest. So and she talk about all different things and
Yeah.
But God bless her and
Mm-hmm.
Eric, you're in our prayers. Eric, we love you very much. Jade, you're in our prayers. JT Wardell, he's having a rough go right now. He was very JT Wardell was very known in the paramotor community and all that. Always out there, had a zest for life, and everything. And something just, I don't know, got a hold of his liver and all that. And so he's waiting for a liver transfer. So I just wish him the best. He's the one that puts on live, life, love.
Yeah.
Live, laugh, love. Live, laugh, love. Yeah, he always puts it on there or whatever. So I just, it's just, I don't want, I don't want to be like a Debbie Downer or whatever. I'm trying to remember. And then my other, Mark Denny, Shayna and Mark Denny, Mark is also going through chemo right now. So yeah. So anyway, my prayers go out to them. And I'm just happy to have you here, Millie. And, you're a survivor too. And I love you. And the flying, that's what keeps you, keeps you going,
Yep.
and like I said, you are such an inspiration to me. And, when I'd have Kramer on my show, being a co-host and telling her story. And then I had Michelle, when she came on my show, I had her as a guest and then made her co-host. But the cool thing about that was Michelle was very withdrawn. She just got married a couple of years ago and everything, but she was always very shy and around people and stuff. And she told me, which made me feel really good, just coming on the show, being my co-host every week helped her, and telling her story helped her, come out to be able to, talk to people and everything. So that's what the show's about. I just want everybody to feel good, and that's why we get together on Thursday. We call it Thankful Thursday, and I just say what are you thankful for, and people get in the chat, and we just talk about different things, and it's fun. It's fun. I just kind of, the day before the show, I watch podcasts all day on TV, right? Well, I don't have all the fancy wancy stuff they have, but I just watch how they do things, right? And maybe there's something that, there's a subject that they're talking, something that jumps out at me, and I'm like, and I'll just like pick a word, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this. Like a few weeks ago, I did, remember from Cheers, everybody, you want to go where everybody knows your name. So that was my show a couple of weeks ago. And we talked about that, about people, that you matter, and just, we kind of, everybody got into the chat and just talked about different things about that. So I like to get, it makes people think, and that's why I like the direction. I thought that was kind of cool, because it does. So when you're get ready to do your class, to do your classes, you have to kind of have a mindset too, like what direction you're going to take this class today, or the students you have, you got to kind of like the vibes, because sometimes I'm sure it's not all, fun, not all fun and games. Sometimes you probably have people that are not very nice. So then you got to learn your people skills, right? So back to that, because it is,
Yep.
I just, I mean, I was in retail 30 some years, so I know all about, working with people.
Yeah, each person's different. We've got people of all walks of life. I've got students in the early 20s, I've got students in their 60s, and each person needs a little something different, and some are visual learners, some are bookworms, some need me to show and tell, show and see, so
Okay.
you just kind of have to find the flow of each person, and then each individual needs their own lesson plan each day, and find ways to motivate them and keep them happy, because I see their growth. I see step by step, and sometimes they don't see it and they get hard on themselves, and then I have to be like, no, you're doing great. We're building up. This is step by step. You're new. Like, have patience.
Yeah.
And we're still moving in the direction we need to move, so we're good, So as long as we're moving in the direction towards our finish line, we're doing good. And each person has their own speed they move at. So,
because you can read each student. Like some, like you said, are a little slower at catching on to certain things than others. So how many weeks do they sign up in the classes? Just for so many weeks, and then that's it? And then if they want to go more, then you don't have to tell me how much or whatever. Just
Yeah, most people when they sign up, if they're doing like the P1 course, it takes about a month, based on how athletic they are, and of course our wind conditions.
Okay.
And then typically, if they're going to do the P1 P2 course, we give them a 3 months to get it done in. But if someone's a weekend warrior, it's probably going to take them the 3 months. But if someone can come throughout the week, then typically it's in less than 3 months. So we're a little slower to learn here because we don't have a car to drive people back up top. They have to hike up.
Yeah.
So some people are good for one hike a day. Some people can do multiple hikes a day. So each person kind of goes at their own speed, and then eventually they don't have to keep going down and hiking up. They can start soaring and top landing, and so that gets to be a little funner for them and not have to hike and stuff. But
so you literally have to hike up to Torrey. Then you park down at the end of the hill, and you have to hike up to the top.
No, so you can drive up to the launch area, but we're at 350 feet up, and then the beach is down here.
Oh, I got
So if we launch off and there's not enough wind to come back up top, then you end up going down and landing at the bottom. So if you land at the bottom, then you just got to hike the 350 foot cliff up. There's like stairs and little trail and some stairs and a trail, so
it's not like
not too horrible, but when they first arrive, they're like, that was a horrible hike. And then after they build some muscles, then it's, it gets better and better. So
that's a good workout.
Most of the sites in San Diego are hike sites. So, if you want to go fly Little Black or Blossom, they're going to have to hike anyway. So you kind of learn to be a hike and fly pilot in your training. And then that helps you still fly once you exit the program and fly the other sites around here.
That's amazing. Kramer said, soon I'll retire, and then all the days that end in Y will be for flying. Can't wait. And then
that's perfect.
And when I was a corporal in the Guard, I told you she's got 9 lives. I didn't want anybody to know my name. They can't yell at you if they don't know your name. She goes by Gypsy. I call her Gypsy. She said, because nobody is allowed to call her Linda, even though that's her name. She said, she doesn't go by her name. She goes by Gypsy,
Gypsy is her name.
Yes. So Gypsy, that's when I say Gypsy, yes. And Bill said, oh, she is a good instructor. See, Millie? You are, and that's what it sounds like. Because when you're training people, I remember even with working at Home Depot, they used to have somebody that's all they would do is train new people. Well, they took that position away and pretty much they just bring them up front because I was running, on the registers, mostly with the contractors, pro contractors. I work with them all day, but they bring people up to me, and I know you can relate to this. There's some days where you really don't want to deal with stuff, and I remember I would come in to work and I'd be kind of in my mood, and then, here comes the head cashier. All right, Judy's going to, she's going to shadow you today, okay? And I'm thinking like, I am not in the mood for this at all. I had to
Yeah.
because, they bring them over and that's when you have to change your mindset because you don't want them to get those vibes, like, And then there was
you gotta like take a breath and go, okay, I have an opportunity to help this person be successful. Let's make them successful and teach them the way.
And there's always, sometimes you never know, what it's like. My last day at work, and I was saying goodbye to everybody, 2020, I retired. I was saying goodbye to everybody. And one of the gals that I did train, she said, I just want to say thank you. She said, you were a really good mentor to me, and I'm going to use a lot of the stuff that you told me, she's just like, I really appreciate it. I was like,
aww.
And that's the thing, talking about people, you never know, the effect you're going to have on somebody later. And so that's why, I do the show and I try to inspire people to be better. It pushes me to be a better person. We talked about a few weeks ago, we talked about paying it forward. And I have people in the chat talking about, things that you pay it forward. And it's just things like that. Yeah. You never know how that person, when you leave or whatever, how that person, they're going to feel or whatever. And so, yeah, I'll never forget that. And she was just a young girl, and I didn't realize that I was just doing my job. Right. But then there's some that don't, and then there's some, they don't want to be helped. I remember I'd call them on the phone and I'd say, hey, if you need any, I'm down here at register 2 or whatever. If you have any questions, if the head cashier is busy, just call me, I'll help you. And there's some that be like, no, I'm good. Okay. And then but with you teaching these people, they have to, because they have to fly safe. So they can't just say, no, I'm going to do it my way. Right?
No, you'd be surprised.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You'd be surprised over, many years. You kind of always get the people that kind of think they know a little more, or think they know they're the right path. But, I've done it for a lot of years. Like, my rhythm is it. Like, I feel like my syllabus is pretty dialed, and the steps that I had them do build them up correctly. So sometimes people get a little excited, like, "Ooh, I just want to top land," or "Ooh, I just want to get to that." And you're like, okay, we'll get there, but we still got to step to get there. There's no shortcuts. There's no way to slide around. So just settle it down, get back in the rhythm, and let's go step by step, and we'll get you where you want to be, So but some people just get so excited to get there, and then they almost get in their own way a little bit, where you kind of have to go, all right, let you do your thing for a minute. And then when you feel like you want me to jump back in, then I'll jump back in, so, but I think overall most people come out knowing they're paying for instruction. So at a certain point, they'll kind of stop and listen and, jump on in. So
John Wayne said, after 6 months without flying, I'll need to learn to fly all over again. Guess I'll turn in my P3 for P1. I forgot, John. Are you a foot launcher or are you trike? I can't remember. Couldn't remember.
Well, maybe he's doing both or something, Yeah, find out.
Not sure which one. And then Scuba says, maybe a little rusty, John, but you will jump right back in it. Scuba, he's like, he's a super duper trike. Scuba, how long have you had your trike now? Put that in the chat. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like riding a bike,
John Wayne
If
does.
you're riding a bike aggressively, you're probably riding a little less aggressive when you come back and you'll roll back into where you want to be, you know?
Yeah. John Wayne says he does both. And then, scuba. I'm trying to see what, Perry's in the house. As long as you're, okay, Perry. As long as you're still peeing, you're good. Oh, good Lord. Where did they let you out of the nursing home again, Perry? I knew it. Jeez. How long have you had your trike, Scuba? That's what we want to know.
Mm-hmm. Answer it up. People need to know.
Yeah, we need to know. Yes. See, Perry. Yeah, Perry, I'm telling you, they must have let you out of the nursing home again. I got to call the authorities. It's got to get back.
Yeah, he's always just escaping out that back door, huh?
I'm telling you. So you have who is it that I always see on Facebook? He's so sweet. And he's always at Tori. Alex.
Yeah, Alex, probably one of the tandem guys.
Yeah.
Alex Allen.
Yeah. I think he's got a girlfriend now and all that, but isn't he the one that he was going to write? Was started to write a book and everything, and I think this is the same one that he got sober and all that stuff. But I always see him on there talking about Tori and who's the guys that hi Scott Savage. Scott Savage is in the chat.
Scott in the house.
Yeah, he's in the house. He works for Orida. So I call him French Fry because he works in Orida.
Yeah, I think we had some Orida tots for lunch. So thank you.
See? Oh my God. So Scott, you got to send DM me your address so I can send you a sticker, and I'm going to send you one too, Millie, so you can DM me your address. And I have to get some stamps this weekend. My poor family, I got all the cards from them, and here I sit, and I have Christmas cards, but I don't have any stamps. So it's every year I do this. They're just like
they'll get out eventually.
Yeah, if they get the Christmas cards late, then then they appreciate it more, right?
Just extends the holiday out a little,
Yeah. So talking about, Christmas is like right around the corner. So how many people got their Christmas shopping done?
Got mine finished.
You did?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, we're just doing a little small Christmas. I got all the moms, my mom and her husband and the mother-in-law, all their gifts out and stuff. So
do you have a little Christmas party up at Tori? Do you do that too?
Yeah, we did it last night. It was a hoot.
Okay.
we were all dressed in ugly sweaters, and there's some pretty ugly sweaters, and mine ended up being a little too cute. I guess I thought it was pretty tacky.
Yeah.
But apparently it was too cute to win, so I was the most ridiculous looking one. But it wasn't ugly enough. I should have gone more ugly.
It wasn't ugly enough. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I think I had like 20 feet of tinsel on me and lights, and it was crazy. But yeah, it was too cute. So so I didn't win.
Great. So Scuba says, I think I'm done, but I keep buying more. Yeah, my downfall is going to Dollar Tree, even though it's not like $1 anymore, but
they got some good deals in there though.
I love that store. Yeah, and then they just opened up a what's it called? Dress for Less. What do they call it? Ross. Dress for Less.
Oh, I love Ross. Oh, I can be in that store for like I can disappear there for like 2 hours. It's like crazy. And I can walk out with nothing.
They're like kind of on the same thing as Marshall's, I believe. I love Marshall's.
Yeah.
And
where it's just a whole slew of stuff to look through. It's like a garage sale.
Oh my gosh. Well, my thing is, and it's funny, my son Ryan is the exact same way. We love our socks. I want to spell it out so you don't think that I'm saying something else. Socks. SOCKS. when because after, when you buy them, I used to buy them like 3 packs of the woolly socks, just to wear around the house. And I'd buy them Walgreens. Well, the cheapy ones, after so many washes, right, they get all stretched out. So me and my daughter-in-law we go on our little shopping excursions, and we went to Marshall's, and I walked to the back wall, and it's all just full of socks.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, cushy 3, 4, 5 packs, the cushy ones. I know I get so excited. So I came home and my bag was like, like this. And so I was just excited because everywhere when I go to Walmart, whatever, they don't have the selection of socks that I want. So
yeah,
now I have a place where I can go now in the summer, right? I can go and get lighter ones or whatever, fun ones. But
it's where I buy my socks. It's so cheap there. Like get the ankle socks, as I'm a millennial, so I date myself with the socks I buy apparently.
No.
But you get a couple packs and then you're good for the summer,
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and I like the leg, what do you call it? Well, when I go on my walks, and then like in the wintertime, I love to wear the what do you call it? They put over your
leg warmers.
Leg warmers. Yes, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. I've been stocking up on leg warmers, and I get super excited.
Good.
Because I can, because now I have here you have to have muck boots. And then I have my rain boots now. I picked up some rain boots a couple months ago. They got little flowers on them, really cute. So
cute.
Because I didn't need rain boots when I was in Arizona, right? Because it never rained. So
if it rains, it's crazy.
So now this year I'm like, yeah, because my daughter-in-law, I see her stuff, and then I'm like, oh, I want a pair of boots like that. So then we go and get them, whatever. But Bill H says, can we text Christmas cards to friends and family asking for a friend? I
take a picture of it and text it, maybe.
That's sad. Bill, that's sad. That's really sad. I used to get really upset because years ago, you get Christmas cards, like as the Christmas cards come in from friends. As long as I got a card, I'd send one, oh, they sent me a card, and I make a list and I'd send them a card. But if I sent them a card and I don't get one back, then they don't get one. Yeah.
They're off the list.
Yeah. I send you a card, you don't even send me a card, you don't even say thank you or nothing, then I'm not, and then I pretty much, I remember growing up, right? The wall would be full of Christmas cards, right? Now not so much, but I mean, I'll text Bitmojis, to people or whatever, just friends in general. But my close family friends, everybody gets a card. So, what's cool is my daughter-in-law. She works at a nursing care home, and they always, in her office and stuff. What a lot of times, people, if they pass on, whatever, sometimes people donate Christmas cards to the, so she's got boxes and boxes of Christmas cards. So she's my Christmas card connection. She's like, don't buy any cards.
She's like, send me some. I need some.
I got to
send me my cards.
Yeah, and they're actually pretty cards. I mean, there's some that are, you can tell like what my mom used to,
Yeah, like, good.
Cards, remember, the nice ones. And now you can't even, I don't know. I can't find box Christmas cards. Perry said, I'm on the phone again, and I can't type every well with it. Hello, Bill. Okay, Perry. You mean they let you out of the nursing home with the phone too? Wow. Man.
Wow, yeah. They're just letting him run.
I have to talk to those nurses over there, and that's it. This can't happen, Perry. Last week we were in the chat too, so we escaped last week too. So I really haven't really done any Christmas shopping. I really don't, like I'll send Robert and stuff, send him, but I'm not rich by any means, But a lot of times my grandkids and stuff, they know. I just call them and, say. Merry
Mhm.
Christmas. They love their grandma, and I'll send them a card or whatever. And
That's all that matters.
that's
Mhm.
right. That's right. I don't know. Growing up, Christmas, there were 6 kids in my family. So talk about, my mom, they were pretty organized with this Christmas thing. Did you open your gifts? Everybody in the chat too. Did you open your gifts on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve night? We would open ours up on Christmas Eve. What about you, Millie?
We would do both. So like Christmas Eve would be gifts from the family. So like gifts from mom and dad, the siblings, aunt and uncles, grandparents. So any family member gifts we opened up on Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Day would be Santa Claus, the Santa gifts. So kind of spread it out between the 2 days. And I think that was a little mixture of my mom's traditions combined with my dad's. So I think that was from my mom's side, I think, the Eve, December Eve stuff. But yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, we always
Yeah.
we'd we would open our presents on Christmas Eve, and we had to wait because my dad has own we had our own family owned grocery store business, so my dad would close the store early, and so we had to wait for him, to get home and everything. And my mom kept all of our gifts. I remember upstairs because we had an upstairs, and Grandma lived with us, so all of our gifts stayed in the closet upstairs. And I just remember, sitting there waiting, and my grandma would go upstairs and, bring a stack of presents that were, okay, here you go. These are for you, Linda, and she'd give me my 4 or 5 things of, you know, of gifts or whatever, and then go down the line, whether it started with the youngest one all the way to the oldest one, they bring them down. And so we'd all open up, and then we had to wait, each one would open their presents, and then the next morning, then the people across the street, my friends across the street, they only had 2 kids in the family, so those kids got a lot of stuff. Okay, and I remember going look at their presents and thinking, how come I didn't get that for Christmas? Whatever
Mm-hmm.
might have been, maybe that special when I was growing up, a doll that I wanted that probably back then was really expensive, for my parents and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember seeing, their stuff and everything. But all right, thank you, John. You take care, bud. Thank you for hanging with us. Hey, everybody, don't forget to hit like, okay? Hit like in the chat,
Like,
please.
like.
Yes, and if you haven't, chatters, listeners, we're going to shut this down pretty soon because I know, Millie, you've had a long day. I have to say thank you to, let's see, we're going to go through the chatters here that if I don't wipe everybody out here. So we had Bill H in the house, we had Scuba, we had Scotty, we had Mr. Perry, we had John Wayne Cowboy in the house. We had my Gypsy stop by. I know we had Dweezy, Wheezy, and we had Just Want to Fly JD. And we had, see, this is good for my memory. Charlie we had Charlie Walsh in the house. We had Walter from Australia, my sugar. I call him Sugar. He's Sugar. I got Sugar in the house. Let's see who else. Who did I forget? Let me look. I'm going through here. Oh, we said Will Fly. I don't know what happened. Will Fly wasn't. He stopped by to say hi. He's probably busy. He was probably busy making a run to the Dairy Queen. Let's see. Wheezy. Okay, I think I got everybody. Let's see. It says new comments. Let's look here. Oh, Bill said, see ya. And Scott says, later, John. All right, so everybody's like saying goodbye and all that stuff. This was really fun, Millie, and you are welcome
Yeah.
anytime.
Anytime. Just
I'm taking interviews for co-host. Anybody would like to join me next week in the chat, just let me know. And it's all, it helps to have a second person in there because they can kind of watch the chat and kind of keep it, keep it going. But I think I did okay.
Yeah. You did awesome today. Yeah.
Thank you. My first show, I was like so scared. It's just ask Scuba. I was like trying to do the YouTube and the Zoom at the same time. And so it's all delayed, right? And everything was so new to me. But yet I got so many views on that. And I'm like, I was like a mess. But once Scuba got in, Scuba finally helped me out because the feedback was horrible. So he jumped in, and he said, okay, just go up here and click that and click this and turn that off. Cause I didn't know, he's like, click this off. I'm like, where, and yes, I want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. You guys, I love you so much. I really do. They've been hanging with, I started my first show in June, and my chatters just, every Thursday, here we are, and it's so cool. And I'm looking forward to
that. That's much better than going to Netflix and trying to find a show to watch,
Oh, yeah.
So much funner.
Oh, exactly. Because I have internet. I don't even have cable anymore because it's way too expensive. And so now, I get YouTube. I watch everything off of YouTube now. And now tomorrow I can watch myself on there, and I have to laugh because a few weeks ago I had one of my, when I was married to my second husband, we did a lot of rodeo, and he was rodeo photographer.
Oh, cool.
We traveled around a lot and for years, and so I finally on Facebook, I found one of my friends that I'm sure we crossed paths somewhere, down the rodeo trail or whatever in Arizona or California. And I messaged him and say, hey, you want to be on my show? And his name was Barry Shepherd. Okay. And he's like in his 60s and he's still bull riding, even after all the concussions, everything.
Whoa.
So you can probably go back and watch it, but it was pretty cool. So anyway, so I get on the show, and I didn't realize I did this till the next day when I rewatched myself, and his name's Barry Shepherd. And Barry Shepherd, I was waiting for him to come into the studio. So he wasn't in the studio quite yet. And so here I am. I'm like, welcome, everybody. I'm so excited tonight. I've got Barry Potter in the house. Where Barry Potter came from? Good thing I didn't say Harry Potter, but
right.
The next day, and I was just like, oh no, you didn't. That didn't happen. So when I told Barry later, he thought it was really funny. And that's another thing, sometimes I watch watch the show afterwards, but I could have really beat myself up about it because I made that mistake. But then I watch other podcasts and I watch all my other peeps doing podcasts, and it happens, It
happens.
And I watch podcasts on the TV and make mistakes. So I always have something to close here. I always read a little thing out of my books here. So I'm going to read this real quick, and then I'll say goodnight to everybody. So this is called I Wish for You. I wish for you happiness, deep down within, serenity with each sunrise, success. In each facet of your life, close and caring friends, love that never ends. I wish for you special memories of all the yesterdays, a bright today with much to be thankful for, a path that leads to a beautiful tomorrow. I wish for you dreams that they do their best to come true, and appreciation of all the wonderful things about you. So I always get, when I read this, I inspire myself so much reading it, then I get all, because I'm just that way, I get all emotional.
That's wonderful. No, it's good.
So I always look for something that people can take with them. And we'll be back here next, we already voted on it last week if I should do a show next Thursday because it's the day after Christmas. And so, yes, I'm going to have a show next week. So y'all come back. We can talk about our Christmas, what you had for dinner, what you got for Christmas, and all that stuff. And we'll just hang out. And Millie, please come back, hang out in the chat. And if you feel like jump in the studio with me, say, hey, I'll come in the studio tonight. I'll send you the link, and we'll get you going. Scott
Awesome. Yeah, anytime.
Scott was my guest last week, so we really had a good time with it. I find I talked him into coming in the studio and being the guest. Talk about French fries and tater tots and all that. So like I said, Merry Christmas, everybody. Hug your family. Just I'm praying for everybody. I appreciate every one of you for right here. You guys are here faithfully on Thursday nights with hanging out in my treehouse, in Lindy's treehouse, and that's what it's about. It's just like when you were growing up, right? You sit in the treehouse, tell stories, and inspire each other and all that, and that's what this is about. So I
love it.
Really happy, and so just hang tight because I'm gonna end the show, but then you stay here for a minute, Millie, just so I can.
Okay.
Good night and all that stuff. So thank you, chatters. Thank you, listeners. Everything. Anybody who's listening there, don't forget to like and hit that notification bell, so that you know when my show is coming on and everything. And I will see you all next week. I always do the heart. Much love. So I got my little antlers. And Merry Christmas. Happy New Year yet, because I'm going to see you guys next Thursday. And I know Scuba has a show on Friday nights, Scuba Vapes. So we will see Scuba tomorrow night. We have on no show on Mondays. Tuesday, we have Never Trust a Skinny Chef Shaney. His show's usually on Tuesday, but him and his wife are on a cruise. So they'll be back next year. They'll be back.
Oh, they're not doing the show on the cruise? Come on.
I know, right?
What kind of a podcast host are they?
Come on, man. Do the show. Yeah, do it while you're on this cruise. Please. Just show us pictures.
Yeah, you guys should be on the deck at the pool doing the podcast.
Yeah. And their flashy clothes. They're so cute.
Yeah.
So I should say they're not going to be on the cruise till next year. Their show, they'll have, I think
they'll be back at the year, yeah.
I think that's what it is. But anyway, I know right now they're on the cruise, and they said there'll be no show on next Tuesday or whatever. So God bless them. I'm sure they can watch this later.
Having a good time. Yeah.
But like I said, I follow everybody, and Susan Bray surprised me in September, and I got the Milstead Friendship Award, and I wrote the notes here real quick. I'll put it where I put it. It's right here. Yeah, they did. They voted on. I guess it's something that they do through Aurora PPG, and
cool.
Do you want me to show it to you? I'll show it to you in a minute when we get off the air. I'll show it to you. So I got a real cool Milstead because they've already seen it and everything. But I'll show you the award when we get done and everything. So everybody be safe, whatever you're doing, okay? And get out there and pay it forward, and just take care of each other and all that. And I will see you next week.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Bye, everybody. Okay, now I got to click it on. Here we go. All right. And we got to end it. Yes.